found a way home.
Here's the story about a little guy that lives in a blue world, and all day and all night, and everything he sees is just blue, like him, inside and outside. Through his house with a blue little window and a blue Corvette, and everything is blue for him and himself and everybody around, 'cause he ain't got nobody to listen. I'm blue, da-ba-dee, da-ba-die, da-ba-dee, da-ba-die, da-ba-dee, da-ba-die, da-ba-dee, da-ba-die, da-ba-dee, da-ba-die, da-ba-dee, da-ba-die, da-ba-dee, da-ba-die. I'm blue, da-ba-dee, da-ba-die, da-ba-dee, da-ba-die, da-ba-dee, da-ba-die, da-ba-dee, da-ba-die, da-ba-dee, da-ba-die, da-ba-dee, da-ba-die, da-ba-dee, da-ba-die.
is a 757.
Right.
Okay. 5 miles northbound, fast moving, type and altitude unknown.
And so that aircraft is down. He's at our 12 o'clock position.
Yeah, stop all departures.
See what happened?
Yeah, went in the Pentagon.
Went into the Pentagon.
Looks like it went in the Pentagon.
Looks like that aircraft crashed into the Pentagon, sir.
a fast-moving primary heading towards the White House. We've notified national approach. We've notified the White House.
Wait a minute. There's a fast-moving VFR toward the White House?
Primary only target heading towards the White House. We have no idea what altitude, what type. Could
Wait. Hold on a minute, John. Hold on a minute. Hold on. We'll get it from John Hendershot at Dulles. Okay, you got a fast-moving. Right. Now, you passed that to national?
We've passed that to the White House. We've passed it to national. It could, obviously it could be military in support of the White House.
What's the position right now, John?
Our position?
No, what's its position right now?
6 miles southwest of the White House, making a right turn back southwestbound, fast moving. 6 miles southwest of the White House, southwestbound, fast moving. 6 miles southwest of the White House, fast moving. No, it's moving away from the White House at this point.
All right, it's moving away, Jeff. It's moving away from the White House. All right, stand by.
Okay, it's maneuvering. It's turning north. Turning north back towards the White House.
Now it's turning back toward the White House. Towards the White House.
Any chance it's military?
Is it any chance it's military?
Conceivable. We have no knowledge.
They have no knowledge.
They have no knowledge of it, Dave. All right, it's 5 miles from the White House.
He's 5 miles from the White House. Have you notified national?
We have. We've notified national. We've notified the White House. Okay, the primary disappeared 3 miles from national, 3 miles southwest of national.
3 miles southwest, what happened?
The primary disappeared.
Primary disappeared 3 southwest of national.
2 primaries, 1 mile west of the White House.
1 mile west of the White House primary.
Do you have a line to military to find out if they're military aircraft?
Hold on. It just hit the west. Check around the Pentagon. Can you see down that low?
Yeah, we can.
He just went into the Pentagon. The west side.
When I was a corporate manager of Fairchild Industries in 1974 through 77, I met the late Dr. Werner von Braun in early 74. At that time, von Braun was dying of cancer, but he assured me that he would live a few more years in order to tell me about the game that was being played, that game being the effort to weaponize space, to control the Earth from space and space itself. The strategy that Werner von Braun taught me was that first the Russians are going to be considered to be the enemy. In fact, when I met him in 74, they were the enemy, the identified enemy. We were told that they had killer satellites. We were told that they were coming to get us and control us, the dirty commies, that whole story. First, the Russians were the enemy against whom we're going to build space-based weapons. Then terrorists would be identified, and that was soon to follow. We heard a lot about terrorism. Then we were going to identify third world country crazies. We now call them nations of concern. But he said that would be the third enemy against whom we would be needing to build space-based weapons. And the next enemy was asteroids. Now at this point, he kind of chuckled the first time he said it. Asteroids, against asteroids we're going to build space-based weapons. So it was funny then. And the funniest one of all was against what he called aliens, extraterrestrials. That would be the final card. And over and over and over, during the 4 years that I knew him and was giving his speeches for him, he would bring up that last card. And remember, Carol, the last card is the alien card. We're going to have to build space-based weapons against aliens. And all of it, he said, is a lie. A lie.
As the Nazis retreated in 1945, they sealed most of the tunnels. Leaving the advanced technology, the Allies did capture one man who knew all about this place. And he wasn't a token find. His name was SS General Jakob Sporenberg, and he was in charge of the technical program at the mine. What he revealed astonished his interrogators. Indeed, I find it astonishing 60 years later. He spoke of a secret experiment attempting nothing less than to conquer gravity. He described a bell-shaped device that needed enormous amounts of electrical power. It was made of a hard, heavy metal and filled with a mercury-like substance that was violet in color and glowed when under test. People who worked on the bell suffered from sleep problems and severe vertigo. 5 of the 7 scientists died while working on the project. In a memo to Hitler, the scientists wrote, "It is in our opinion that the scientific results ascertained from our experiments with the bell are truly decisive for the war."
And all of it, he said, is a lie. A lie.
Pull up United 93. He's flashing at Hagerstown. I believe that you will hear about that plane shortly. No idea on destination and or altitude. We just put the routing in for a good guess.
Okay. Hi, Washington. John, Team U, we put in a flight plan on United 93, Hagerstown, DCA. We did that so we'll process for you, and we're flashing them to you guys right now. He's primary only, and we are, as best we can, associating the target with the data block, okay? We have no idea what altitude he's at right now.
Oh, there he is. He's flashed at 04 right now.
Okay, well, the Hagerstown National is just in so we can process it to you. We have no idea where he's heading.
All right, let me talk to you. Thanks.
He has been reported 8,000 feet by a VFR pilot who's in the area. He's, right now, he is west of Johnstown still, and 12 miles. He's turning back to the southeast again. Right now, he's on approximately about a 150 heading. It looks like he's still turning. Hey, his transponder just came back on, and it was showing 8,000 feet, 200. Who to 200 feet? 8,200 feet, and he's on the same code that he was before. And he's, hold on, that transponder looks like it might have just gone off again. Yeah, it just went off again, but we showed an altitude of 8,200 feet. Hey, he went below our radar coverage. Oh, wait a second, I got a primary there, hold on. But I tell you, Rick, at 8,200 feet in that particular portion of our airspace, we're going to have a hard time tracking them. Washington should be able to track them off their plane's radar site.
The Strategic Defense Initiative. The Star Wars program routinely falsified research data according to military sources at the time. Quote, "We would lose hundreds of millions of dollars in Congress if we did not perform our tests successfully. We put a beacon with a certain frequency on the target vehicle. On the interceptor we had a receiver. The hit looked beautiful, so Congress did not ask questions." The very idea of Star Wars, an umbrella that would shield America from Soviet nuclear warheads, was itself a massive deception. No knowledgeable scientist thought for a minute such a shield was feasible, yet the Pentagon proceeded with this fraud and faked other tests in 1990 and 1991 after the Soviet threat had disappeared.
In 1977, I was at a meeting in Fairchild Industries in a conference room called the War Room. And in that room were a lot of charts on the walls with enemies, identified enemies, names that people had never heard of, names like Saddam Hussein and Gaddafi. But this was the next stage after the Russians against whom we were going to build space-based weapons, these terrorists. 1977. And they were talking about creating a war in the Gulf region when there was $25 billion in the space-based weapons program that yet had not been identified. It wasn't called the Strategic Defense Initiative, at least, until 1983. This weapons system then had obviously been going on for some time that I didn't know anything about. So I stood up in this meeting in 1977 and said, I'd like to know why we're talking about space-based weapons against these enemies. I'd like to know more about this. Would somebody tell me what this is about? Nobody answered. They went on with this meeting as though I hadn't said anything.
The presentations indicated this Star Wars weapon was in fact HARP. In 1995, Congress killed funding for Star Wars, but HARP continues as the ultimate SDI radio frequency radiation weapon.
This, I keep calling it a plane for lack of any other, it came down, I mean, it was like right above my van, and right down over my windshield, because it was so low that I ducked in my van. And when I did, I shut off my radio. And that's when I knew there was no sound. And I said it out loud, I said it 2 times, oh my God, it's going to crash, it's going to crash. It cleared those trees, so to my knowledge, it just seems to me it had to be below the power lines. Came in, swooped up, cleared those trees. It was fall, so it was full of leaves. No leaves moved on the trees. Nothing fell, because I kept thinking, you know, there should be like a disturbance, and it just smoothly went around. I went right over there, bank to the right, and
He didn't mention a timeline, but he said that it was going to be speeding up faster than anybody could possibly imagine. That the effort to put weapons in space was not only based on a lie, but would accelerate past the point of people even understanding it until it was already up there and too late.